Three Rivers Archery, your longbow and recurve experts.
Hi, today we're going to talk about strings and different things to consider them and the different models and what's open to you as an archer. So there are two very common styles of string. There is the Flemish twist and the endless loop. And we'll start with the endless loop. Now what the endless loop is it takes one strand of string and it's run over and over and over again. So it's a continuous loop. And then what is done is it can be twisted, but it is served on the end loops here. This one's done with nylon serving in red. They can use different serving materials. Normally they'll be a little bit thicker on the ends if you go to more specialty ones for that, just because that's where the wear and tear is. The ends of the string are underneath these end loops, and that's why they're served there, to also keep that locked in, and then also for the abrasion against limb tips and that. Then they're center served, like they all are. Sometimes it'll be the same as the end loops, or it'll be a thinner, slicker material, just so it has clean release. Because this is also another high-end wear point to it. Now, endless loop strings are, I not tested it myself, but they're believed to be a few feet per second faster than a Flemish twist string, just because normally they don't have a lot of twist, so there's less mass, less bulk to it, it can be faster. I do find that they are great strings. Usually I put these on beginner bows and things like that because they are cheaper with the way that it's made. It's a lot quicker to make. But still great strings. Target shooters, competitive shooters do like them because they get to pick up those extra feet per second. I do find it a little tougher to put all types of string silencers on them. The ones that slide over the string are usually best. If it's one that has to go between the strands, it's usually a little bit harder just because there's not as much twist in these, if any twist really. And then to Flemish twist. So at Flemish twist, we'll show it on this one because it stands out a bit better, is you take multiple colors in this case, and you make different bundles of string. So, you know, it could be a 2-color bundle of 8 strands, or you could do even less, or you could do any combination. 3 bundle is popular because it creates a nice round base to it. 2 bundle also see a lot of those just to hit whatever you're trying to hit for strand count. And then what these do is they're twisted together, and then it's a Flemish splicing of how they come together. Now, when they're done by hand, usually you can have it where it tapers, and it tapers nice and smooth out. Where they're also done by machine, and it's a little bit more, probably hard to see in the video here, but it's a little bit more abrupt of where it ends. Now the biggest thing to note, because we get this question a lot, is you won't see any frayed ends on an endless loop because they're all served, and there's only 2 ends. But with these, it will actually have it on a bow right here. You can see here, see if I can make it pop up a little bit there. But where the frays end, where the thread ends in there, is it can fray out. Absolutely nothing wrong with the string. It is how a Flemish twist string is designed and made. The best way to solve it, that's it, lays flat. It is natural for the string. It's going to happen with string, and with use you'll see a little bit more fray to it just with your use. Again, the wax that's built into the string with it when they're being built will hold it down. You just have to run it over. As your string gets older, if it's starting to dry out a bit, just get some more string racks, rub it in there, and then that revitalizes the string. But biggest thing to note, a Flemish twist string will have tag ends at the end, whether it's brand new or a bit of use. Easy enough, just do that, you're good to go. You can trim them if you like, you know, if it's really bothering you, they're a bit excessive. You know, just be careful anytime you have any sharp piece on your string. I wouldn't really recommend using a lighter. If you want to trim them, go ahead, but just go in there. Now, string material. So you see a lot of these Dacrons a lot of the endless loop made with Dacron or B55. That's kind of the original mass-produced bowstring material. It has a lot of stretch to it. It's suitable on all bows. It's a great string material because it works on everything. If you don't know if your bow can take high performance string material, you always want to go with that Dacron, that B55. Because what happens is when you get to high performance, what that really means is just the amount of stretch that they have. So when it's on there being pulled, released, shot, of how much it will stretch with it or flex with it. Because if a bow is not built with modern materials where it's reinforced on the end here, this black, this phenolic is most likely what it is. That's built to take the pressure and tension of a low stretch string. Where if I had an all wood bow, I wouldn't want to put that on there because it's doing excessive stress on the string loop there. And what can happen is you can basically break the tip off of your bow while shooting. So, if you don't know if your bow is built to take it, and that comes down to the Boyer, go with B55 Dacron material. If your bow has reinforced tips, or it came with a high performance string, or it can do high performance, feel free to experiment with the different materials out there. BCY is a company, they make a ton of different high performance materials, always innovating and coming out with new stuff. And it is fun to play with. I will find like D97 is the most common high performance string material, but you play around from there. I believe this is a BCYX. It's thinner, which is nice, so you need more strands if you want to build up on that, but then also it's incredibly low stretch, so you get great performance out of it. And they offer a ton of different color variety to it as well. But yeah, play around with the string material, especially if your bow can take high stretch. You'll be surprised how much performance you can squeak out of a bow with just changing the string. Same thing with endless loop versus Flemish twist. I do Flemish twist myself. I like the look of it. I like the twists with the color options, but that applies to just what the material is. But also it's a bit rounder, and then also I put string silencers in my strings. So I find with the Flemish twist, it's a lot easier to put any and every different type of string silencer there is and to hold in place better than on an endless loop. If you have any questions about strings, happy to answer it. Please comment below. If you like the video, please hit the thumbs up. If you really like the video, please hit that share button to share with your friends and family. I'm Johnathan Karch, 3 Rivers Archery. Thanks for watching.